What's up, everybody? It is the boss herself, Miss Lee Campbell. I think this is my first real live on this page. So if you guys are familiar with me, you guys know that I am actually in hold on, sorry. Let me share to some groups while I'm talking. All right. So I have another page that got shut down, and so I really am kind of starting from scratch, but just being more intentional about who I'm trying to connect with, what I'm trying to connect with them about. I probably will send you, if you're on my page, if you're a friend, and let me know if you're watching this live or if you're watching the replay, but I will probably be sending you guys a message, letting you know what I do, and see if you are interested in getting some AI pics, some flyers, anything like that. So be nice to me when y'all respond to my messages, because I'm sweet. I'm a business owner, but I'm still Atlanta. I'm so ATL. So y'all be cute in y'all responses. If you're not interested, you could just let me know. In a kind way, because I have a team. They do a lot of my stuff as far as reaching out to people, but the boss will step in if she needs to. So I want to talk to you guys about how to buy a house with AI. Now, if you guys have been checking my page, you guys go scroll down my page and go see the beauty that I have been posting, y'all. You can do so much with these AI tools. It is insane. It is literally insane, you guys. Go on my page. All of that stuff, them photos, all that stuff, like, that's AI. And when I tell y'all it looks good, like, it's getting better and better and better and better. And I'm also the founder of the Teach Tech Foundation, which is an initiative with my brand Discover Why. Y'all, I got like 18 businesses. I ain't gonna lie. I got 18 businesses. And but my passion and my soul and my spirit is focused on building economic power, especially within the Black community. Hey, girl. That's my boss, Kendra. And so I'm going to give you guys a case study of what our focus is and what our goal is with the Teach Tech Foundation, and helping you all understand why I does what I does. Okay. Why I does what I does. Thank you for my hearts. So there was this young man on one of my pages. He had to be like, hey, Sharon. He had to be like 25 years old. And he had just gotten laid off from his job. He worked at a factory or a warehouse, right? And I'm like, dude, he was like, I don't have any food to eat. That's what he was posting on his page. And I was like, dude, start selling something, promote something, sell a digital product, sell an ebook, sell something. You have to sell something. And he was like, well, I don't know how to do that. And so, I tried to explain to him what it was and what he was doing or whatever, but he was just so set on, I don't know how to do that. I don't want to learn how to do it. And, but I'm hungry and I don't have any food and all this stuff, whatever. And, besides that person, I see that a lot where people get laid off, they're unemployed, and they're stuck because the job market ain't job marketing all the time. Sometimes it's very, 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 very hard to find a job. And so you get laid off unexpectedly. You got bills, you got rent, you got a mortgage, you got kids, you got all of this stuff, but it's like you feel lost, like you don't have any options. And I don't want to say that pisses me off. It doesn't piss me off at the person, but it pisses me off that we live in this world where I'm on my damn phone and I can be talking to people in Ghana and do on a daily basis, talking to people in Ghana, in the Philippines, in Pakistan. We all making money together. We all doing services, creating products, all of this stuff from my phone. My iPhone, this iPhone that every single person has. If they bout that life, they got an iPhone. I'm just playing. But team iPhone. But from an iPhone, an Android, whatever you're using, you have this computer in your hand that you can literally turn into an ATM. It literally can make money for you, you know, and not necessarily like it has to replace your job, but it can supplement your income. So let's go back to the guy. Let's call him Caleb. So let's say Caleb, instead of him just saying, well, I don't know what to do, and I'm going to just be hungry, and, you know, because y'all know what happens when people get hungry. They start committing crimes, okay? So when we see the hunger rate, not the hunger, but the poverty rate going up, you know what else is going to go up? The crime rate. So when you feeling like, well, I'm safe because I got a college degree, or I got a good job, or my husband take care of me, or my whatever, but when your car get broken into, or your house get broken into, or your business get broken into, you get what I'm saying? Or it's shootouts and it's gangs forming in the neighborhood, or the homeless population is increasing. You get what I'm saying? Like, we cannot turn a blind eye to the digital divide. And that's what it's called. It's the digital divide, where people from our communities, black and brown people, they don't have, it's not even that they don't have access, but they're unaware of the resources that are available to them that can honestly help change their life. They start doing stuff to survive. Logic is clouded. Exactly. When you hungry, you ain't thinking straight. Okay? So guess what? The digital divide is an economic constriction on us as a people. And you got these people, these kids, especially these young people, you think, okay, they got iPhones, they got TikTok, but they don't have technology education. You feel what I'm saying? They don't have the education. Yes, unaware. And it's not that and it's right there in their face. But it's kind of like, have y'all ever been looking for something and it was right in your face, but you weren't aware of it? Like your mama said, if it was a snake, it would have bit you. That's exactly what is happening. We have all of these resources, for example, creating digital products, you know what I'm saying? Using AI, creating apps, creating websites, creating whole businesses, drop shipping, all of this stuff, like I said, from your phone. But because they're not aware of it, they're not ever taught that, because they're not being taught that in school. They're not being taught that in high school. They're not being taught that in college. You may not even be taught that in college. A lot of times, the school system is only there to help you memorize facts. They want to prepare you for testing. They want to prepare you for the SAT. They want to prepare you for the ACT, because that makes their school look good. Like their funding is dependent on what the students get on these standardized tests, even though that ain't got shit to do with real life. Okay? I know I sound mad. I am mad. I'm mad because I think about that boy Caleb, and I think about him, saying, I'm hungry, and I don't know how to make an ebook, and I don't know how to do this, and I don't know how to do that, and me and Kendra can pop on our computer, and we can make $1,000 before brunch because we have the education, okay? We learning about stuff like AI. Y'all see the AI stuff, and some people are against it, some people are for it, but the reality is it's here, and it's not going anywhere. But yet, do you think they're teaching that in school? Do you think they're teaching them that? They're not. They're trying to avoid that. They don't want them to use ChatGPT. And I understand everything can't be outsourced to a computer, but at the end of the day, a lot of shit can be. Let me read the comments. I'm sorry, y'all. I get worked up. It's like that Snickers commercial. As funny as they made it, it's real. When you're not yourself, you're hungry. Exactly. We be hangry. I was hangry. I think I'm hangry right now. God damn it. I have something in the oven, so I'm finna get something to eat. But my point is that there's so much, even if you were a tax professional, I know there's people on here that are tax professionals. The kids don't know that is a lucrative ass job, and that they still have to learn technology with that. They have to learn how to file taxes. They have to learn how to create job forms, and they got to know how to promote their businesses and use Canva and use all this stuff. Where they got to learn how to use social media for other shit than just posting a meme. Girl, no, you funny. You know what I mean? But they are not being taught. And so that is why I created the Teach Tech Foundation, because it's not just about the youth. It's also the adults. You can have a 30, 40, even a 50-year-old person that doesn't know basic technology skills, that the whole world is becoming digital. Everything is becoming digital. And yet they don't know how to do it. So let me go back to how to buy a building with AI. But facts, they don't want to teach it in school because they are focused on pushing people into college, not real world experiences, entrepreneurship. And you know what the sad thing about that is? Everybody doesn't go to college. Everybody can't afford to go to college. Everybody doesn't have the opportunity to go to college. So you know where they go? They go to the lowest hanging fruit. Let me go work at the retail store. Let me go work at the fast food restaurant. Let me go work at the warehouse. Let me go do the thing that is, my mama did it, and so I'm going to do it. And they don't understand that they have so many damn options right on that phone they using every day. So, and I'm going to help somebody else with this. My family purchased our building that we were renting for 10 years. We were leasing the space as our business, and we recently purchased it. Well, we purchased it like last year. But today I was walking around at the grocery store. Don't tell nobody. I be walking at the grocery store because listen, don't nobody be out there. I don't like to talk to people when I'm exercising. So, you know, I don't go to the park. I go to the grocery store. So I was walking around the grocery store. Like y'all go to Walmart. I'm telling y'all, this is the lick. This is the lick right here. But I was walking around and I seen a sign that said available right in front of the grocery store. It said, well, it's like a plaza, okay? And it said available. And I said, hold on now. Is this plaza for sale? Okay. So this is a big ass. It got Publix. It got restaurants on it and stuff like that. And I was like, I wonder how much this plaza is. You know what I'm saying? Like, even somebody, when I say if it was a snake, it would have bit you. These are opportunities in front of your face that if you're not looking for that, or you're not thinking on that level, or you're not thinking like, I could own a building, you're not looking to see, well, how much this building costs. You thinking, okay, because I did the math. I was like, well, how much do you think it is? I said, it's probably like $5 million. At least it's $5 million. And I said, okay, well, how much the mortgage gonna be? Because the mortgage, you're gonna get a 30-year fixed mortgage or whatever. And so I just said, okay, let me do the calculations. That's like, I think $166,000 a year. And it's like $14,000 a month, right? It's like, okay. I'm like, that's nothing. You know, even though, not saying it's nothing, but I'm like, 14, going in your head from that's $5 million building to this is $14,000 a month. But you got to consider you're going to have tenants, right? In this particular building, it's a Publix. So Publix alone probably paying about $8,000 itself just to be there. And so then there's like 5 to 7, well, no, it's like 10 other, like spaces in this building. So if everybody in the space is paying $2,000 a month or whatever, you know, you easily making like $15,000-$20,000 a month from this building. So you profiting $10,000 or whatever. So I came up with that math. But my point is that, let's say Caleb, that guy who was saying he was hungry, whatever, let's say back in his high school, he was taught how to make a website, you know, how to use AI to make a website. And so when he graduates, he gets a job at the warehouse. But let's say, you know, they lower his hours. They don't fire him, but maybe they cut his hours a little bit. Instead of him saying, well, let me go find another job, he says, you know what, let me use AI and I'm going to go make websites for companies. Because I see that, you know, I've done the research and I see that these companies, they don't really be having no website. A lot of them business owners don't have a website, or I see on social media that that's a need. So I'm going to go and I'm going to use AI and I'm going to go create websites for companies, because I know, you know, it ain't going to take me no time. Like, I can make a website in 2 days versus the average person might take 2 weeks. They might take 2 months to make a website, but I'm using AI and I'm going to cut that time in half. You get what I'm saying? And so he says, all right, I'm going to charge $1,000 a month, or I'm going to charge $1,000 for each client to make their website. And I want 5 clients. So 5 times 1,000 is $5,000. Now he still has his job at the warehouse, even though it's not paying him full time anymore. Maybe he's working part time. Maybe he's making an additional $2,000 a month at the warehouse. So he's saying, okay, I'm making $7,000 a month. What most people do, right, is they making $2,000 to $4,000 a month, but their expenses are $2,000 to $4,000 a month. Y'all see what I'm saying? And so because they're basically breaking even every month, or living paycheck to paycheck, as they say that. So they don't have enough money to save money. But Caleb might say, all right, I'm going to spend my $2,000 on my rent and my household bills or whatever. Then I'm going to save $3,000 to $4,000 a month. So by the end of the year, I got $50,000 in savings. Cash money that he saved in 1 year. And he says, you know what? I'm finna go buy some property. You know, first actually he might say, I'm gonna go buy a house. So I'm gonna take $25,000 of my $50,000 and I'm gonna put a down payment on a mortgage. So I'm gonna on a home. So I'm gonna buy me a house. I ain't gonna go too crazy. I'm gonna get like something simple, 150, 200,000, 250, whatever. And he put down that 10-20%. Then he said, all right, and I got this other 25,000. I'm going to save this and I'm going to keep adding to this because eventually I want to buy a building. So now he has a mortgage and he's in his home for however many years, he might be in it for 5 years, 3 to 4 years. And every month he's paying in equity. He's gaining equity into his house. He's paying his mortgage, but he's gaining equity. So at 3 to 4 years or 5 years, he might say, all right, I want to go get a loan on my home. I might want to take out a second mortgage so I can get a loan, or I want to get a home equity loan. And now I'm going to get my $25,000 back. I still got this other $25,000 that I've been saving. I done put this into a CD or a bond or some kind of account where it's just growing interest. Might not be that much interest, but it's just growing interest. So now I got $50,000. I want to go buy a building. I want to go buy me a $500,000 building, a property, you know, something that I can rent out and lease out, and I can make money on that. So all of this started with him being educated on technology and being put ahead of the game, as when he's in school, when he's young enough to listen, when he's being forced to listen, but he's being forced to listen to something that helps his future. Like you said, Kendra, when are we going to start setting up our future leaders up to win? Exactly. Because when Caleb buys that building, he's going to say, all right, I need tenants. I'm gonna give tenants to the people from my community, because maybe it's been hard for the people in the community to get into these locations because whatever reason, they black, they ain't got enough money or whatever. And he says, I'm gonna make the least reasonable for these people in the community. And when these people in the community come in, they giving jobs to their employees. Okay, so I got this building like a Publix. Let's say he bought the building with Publix in it. He said, shit, it's 50 people in here that live in the neighborhood that we're giving jobs to. You get what I'm saying? Like, are y'all keeping up? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Like, that's how I look at stuff. And so it all goes back to us being educated. It all goes back to us being educated, not being afraid of technology, but utilizing it to our benefit. I'm not gonna call my customer out, but I taught her how to use Apple Pay today. And I felt good about it because I'm like, this gonna help her with her customers. Because how many times, I know I used to be like that, where I felt as if, I don't have Venmo, for example. I don't have Venmo. So if everybody wants to pay me with Venmo, I might have lost a customer because I didn't take Venmo. But Apple Pay is like that. Everybody uses Apple Pay if they got an iPhone and they smart and they got iPhone. Okay, I'm just playing. Team iPhone. But they got an iPhone, they use Apple Pay a lot. And so it's simpler for her to get that money. You ain't paying a bunch of fees. You get what I'm saying? You losing money when you use places like PayPal and Stripe too. You got fees and all sorts of stuff. So learning technology can help empower you economically, and not just you, but everybody around you. Because when we get too comfortable and we stop learning, when the people stop learning, they perish. You know, they perish. You get what I'm saying? That's like if we was in the jungle and we so used to doing everything one way, but then the tide changed, or the sun ain't shining, but we never learn how to grow these other crops, we're gonna starve. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? We never learned how to grow these crops because we were so busy focusing on this, and we thought everything was gonna be the same always. And then guess what? Our kids never learn. So we never learn. The kids never learn. We never taught them anything. And then when we pass away, they still don't learn. So what happens to them? They gotta move away, or they gonna get sick. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be having the nutrition. They're gonna be hangry. They're gonna be creating crimes. All of this stuff, you guys. So it truly, truly matters what we do every single day. It's not just about going viral. It's not just about having a bunch of money. It's about caring about your community. You feel what I'm saying? Caring about the place your kids gonna have to live in. Your kids gonna have to live here. When we older, we dead and gone or whatever, life's still gonna keep going. So make sure that you left your mark here and you gave what you were taught that somebody else might have taught you, or however you learned it, and you make sure you pass it down to the next generation so that they can succeed. So that they can succeed, you guys. Because when we're older and we don't feel like doing nothing, they gonna be in charge. We gonna be looking at them to make sure that shit is together. And if they haven't seen an example from us, they gonna do the same thing. They're not gonna take charge. They're not gonna teach nobody, because they ain't learned shit. All they learned was how to do the Chris Brown challenge. So that's all they passing down to their kids. But I'm just playing, y'all. All right, you guys, that's all I got today. That's all the yelling I have in me. It's time for me to go get my food, because like I said, I think I was a little hungry. That's why I was mad. But I think it just really came down to me thinking about especially our young men. I mean, our young women too, for sure. For sure. We all need help. But our young men, especially our young black men, they seem to be the most lost. And they seem to be the most, I don't know, are they ignored by society? Because I'm tired. Me and Kendra, we talk about the prison pipeline. You know, that's one of the reasons why they don't educate, especially our people. Because hell, they don't want us to be thinkers. They want us to be doers. They want us to be workers. They want our black boys to go to jail and be, fill up those prisons so that they can own the land. Because a prison is a building. It's a building for land ownership, just like that Publix is. You feel what I'm saying? So we can either have more grocery stores or we can have more prisons. I feel like it's kind of up to us of what's gonna happen in our society. Are we feeding our youth, or are we sending them straight to jail? Don't pass go and don't collect $200. Like, which one are we doing? I know which one I'm doing. So if you guys want to be a part of that, if you guys feel what I'm saying, you can donate to the Teach Tech Foundation. And let's do it together. Let's do it together, you guys. I appreciate y'all watching. I do have Cash App, so you can donate Teach Tech Foundation. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.